when it comes down to Lao culture, it's just all about not worrying about the future too much, not worrying about the past too much. You can have plans and goals, but just do it every day and enjoy the time that you have, you know? Because death comes quick here. People forget that when they come out to Southeast Asia. Death comes quick. So enjoy every day.
So that's Owen. He's Canadian. He's been living in Laos on and off since 2016. And he has a way of cutting straight to the point. I met him on my first evening in Luang Prabang, and I knew immediately I wanted to sit down with him properly. So, hello, this is Lucia, Stories of Ordinary Lives, and this is Owen's story. All right, hello everyone, here's Lucia from Stories of Ordinary Lives, and we have another episode with amazing guest, Owen. Hello.
Hi there.
So, it's a funny story. We are in Luang Prabang, in Owen's morning coffee place. But it's not morning anymore. Well, it is for Owen because he pretty much just wakes up.
I'm a barman. I'm supposed to sleep in late.
But it's almost 3 p.m. And I'm extremely grateful that you agreed to this. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
One of the reasons, so I didn't really tell you the whole concept of the podcast, but one of the reasons why I started to do it was also kind of spread kindness and talking about kindness as well. And I chose you because you were extremely kind to me.
Huh?
I came the first evening in Luang Prabang to La Cantina.
Of course, La Cantina Luang Prabang.
Yeah, the best place. If you're here, go there. It's so much fun. And I felt instantly welcomed. We started chatting and it was amazing. And I discovered that you also left London recently, pretty much in the same time as me, which we just talked about before we started recording.
Yeah. What? End of September?
End of September, yeah.
End of September.
And now we are both in Luang Prabang. But it's my first time. It's definitely not your first time. And we're going to talk about that.
Sure. Yeah. I moved here in 2016. Late 2016, and I lived here until 2020 here in Luang Prabang as an English teacher, and it was a great time. I really liked it, but I got stuck outside the border in COVID. I was on the wrong side of the border, so I had to improvise. So London it was.
Why London?
So this sounds silly, but in my brain, I was thinking the currency is really strong.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so because I grew up in Canada, and when I was like, okay, the Canadian dollar is pretty bad, but the UK pound, that's pretty strong. £1 is $2 Canadian. But I didn't quite factor in the fact that the UK is going through an economic recession, and it didn't go well.
Oopsie.
Whoops. But, live and love. I enjoyed London. Hackney. If you're ever in Hackney, stop by Ryan's N16. It's a great place to drink. But no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with the speed of London. I need to do a bit slower.
I mean, yeah, but you still stayed for like 5 years.
Yes, I did. I stuck it out. I did stick it out. I really did. I'm a stubborn person. I really put myself through it, giving it a good go. And I'd come back here to Laos every year to visit all my friends.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, every year, why are you going back? Why do you look so bad when you arrive here? You look so pale. I'm like, oh, it's no sun in London, man.
No.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. It is what it is. All right, so let's take it a bit back in time. So you're Canadian.
Yes.
So what happened? Oh, tell me, how was your life in Canada before you ventured to this adventure?
Canada So I was a little rapscallion. I was a bad kid. I used to get in a lot of trouble. I was diagnosed with ADHD and dysgraphia and dysnumbia. I don't know, the one I can't do numbers. So I struggled in school a lot. Um, I grew up in a very Filipino area as well, which was pretty cool. It was in Canada. You always get a lot of different backgrounds. So a lot of my friends were from a lot of different backgrounds, and it was very Filipino. So that kind of influenced me a lot in like food and culture. So when I finished high school, uh, I felt really comfortable when I came to Asia right away, and I had more trouble when I went back to Canada than when I came here. But yeah, Canada is an interesting place to grow up, that's for sure. Um, but Laos really calmed me down because I was really like energetic, like really like I guess a rebel without a cause type of kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I came here and I was like, why was I rebelling? Like none of it really mattered. What am I doing? So I calmed down a lot.
Okay.
Um,
Have you thought about it, like backwards, like why you were rebelling? Like, what was the?
I think I just kind of felt like I didn't belong in Canada. Um, some people get that. Some people are growing up in their hometowns and they just feel like an outsider, not due to any sort of like bullying. You just like you're walking around and you're like, why am I here?
Mhm.
And I would become angry because of that. Because where I'm from in Canada, it's quite cold and quite dark, and it's got lovely summers, but it's quite cold and quite dark, and it's very tough. You toughen up when you grow up in that type of environment. All of us do. All of us do. But I never really enjoyed it. I never really felt like I belonged
Mm.
there. Which is when it was really strange when I did some travel. I went to a few places. I did some courses, but then when I arrived in Laos, I walked off the plane. I was like, "Ooh, this is a bit more my speed.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit more my place." Um, and I had the same thing, and ended up happening when I went back to London. Is because I felt like I didn't belong. I was becoming like frustrated and angry and losing my temper,
Mm-hmm.
which is something I don't really do when I'm out here in Luang Prabang
Mhm.
ever. Um, Compared to like in London
Yeah.
or in Canada, I just felt like maybe the weather, maybe the go 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 culture
Yeah.
of the West.
Yeah.
I just never really felt like I belonged in the West.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can understand that. What about your parents? Like, are they tough? Like, do they?
No, my parents are little sweethearts. I love my parents. My parents are. I have a really good relationship with my parents. They met each other backpacking years ago.
Oh, cool.
So when I was a little baby, they used to take me out on like their backpacking. They rented like an RV and they would take little baby me
Mm.
to Australia and Fiji, New Zealand,
Oh, cool.
Thailand, all over when we were like when I was a baby.
Yeah.
So my parents have always supported my travel, which is why I came here when I was quite young. Because when you finish school, you don't usually up and move to Asia right away.
Yeah.
But my parents basically said, no, you feel I can see that you need to go and find somewhere
Okay.
else. And they've been here many times. They love it. They're considering moving to Asia themselves. They they're very much supportive in this stuff. They're not tough people at all. They're lovely people.
Oh, that's great. So, are they Canadian or did they just like based?
No. They're based in Canada. Our whole family are immigrants of the UK, which is why I moved to
Okay.
the UK.
Oh, okay.
So my father's Welsh and
Oh,
my
okay.
mother's from Ireland, but she grew up in the UK, in London, in England, not
Yeah.
in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know before you went here, you were in Japan.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, with the NGO that I came here with, I couldn't come here without knowing anything. So
Mhm.
they did put me through some courses.
Yeah, so because the listeners don't really know about the NGO thing.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. So I originally came to Laos with an NGO that no longer operates in Laos, but for me to go into this NGO, I had to do some training in Japan, which was cool. I really liked Japan, but that was also too fast for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, it's not just Asia, the West. Like Japan was also really fast for me. Korea is very fast, you know. Even China, a lot of places, you know, you're like, oh my God, there's so much going on.
Do you think it's a function like a big city? Or
Maybe it might be a big city thing. Might be a small city type of vibe for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's lovely here. I'm loving it. But I think it's always about the people, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about like the Lao people?
Yeah, a lot of people, and
Oh
even the
yeah.
expats here are really nice. Like it's different
Yeah.
to like I've been to Mexico, different places where there's lots of expats, and they kind of bring this like go go mentality and like kind of posy mentality, and I don't know, it just feels like West in a just like moved to on the beach basically.
Yeah. That doesn't really work here. You could try to go. And I've seen people do it, but I've seen also a lot of people go mad doing it. No, the development in Laos uh, needs to be stable, and that's something that the government has been doing really well here, and which is why go never really happens, and the go people don't usually last.
Okay.
Um, Local Lao people are some of the most hard, like the biggest hearts and stubborn, proud people, and I get along with them really well because I'm also a stubborn, proud person. So we get along really well. But they're really nice people to be around, and they're definitely yeah. I don't know what to say. I can't generalize about the Lao, but I love being here, and I love being around the people that live here.
Yeah. So with the NGO,
Mm-hmm.
you were teaching English, right?
Yes, I was. I was an English teacher here.
Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah,
Who were like the students? What was the whole thing about?
sure. So I worked for an NGO here that worked in Buddhist temples and a couple of small universities and a couple of like library tutoring classes. Um, so what? After my training, I came here and we were based here in central Luang Prabang. I was an intern for 9 months with this NGO. And yeah, we worked in uh, the Buddhist high school, not in Luang Prabang. We worked at the one outside of Luang Prabang in a place called Van Pao, Vat Pao, which is a very prestigious and very big temple with maybe, I'm not sure now, but in 2017 when I was teaching there would have been about 800 novices.
Wow. Okay.
So we would arrive in our minivans and we'd do our some of our language teaching over there. We also worked in a couple of temples locally and with some other local NGOs providing English teaching support. Which was great. I mean, we had a really good program. We had a lot of foreign volunteers who would come and work with the kids. And for a long time, what they were really good about was designating classes with the long-term teachers and then have volunteers kind of come in short-term, which is a lot of English teaching NGOs don't do. they just throw in the guys who are going to be here in 2 weeks, and then they'll teach English, and then they'll go away, and you got another teacher who's maybe got a different accent or a different way of speaking or a different, you know. So my NGO did this quite well. So I was mostly with my classes for their whole semesters.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Which was a great time. And then when my NGO, when the my contract ended with the NGO, they offered me. They offered me to join a joining NGO that we were working with, but we were kind of rebranding and trying to change us from an NGO to a more stable for-profit school model. So they brought me in to this, and we opened up what is now the Mekong Education Center, which is it's a for-profit. It is an evening school, but it's stable, and it's a stable way for students to come and learn English.
Okay. Is it expensive for them, or?
It's mid-range, so it's not entirely expensive, but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because we do have sponsorship programs at the Mekong Education Center, and we do teach a variety of things. They've upgraded. First, it was just English. Now they teach Chinese and computers as well.
Okay.
But it needs to be a reasonable price because we need to keep the staff. Because we cannot rely on foreign volunteers for a sustained English development. Like they can come and assist, like they do. They have a very good program here in Luang Prabang called the Big Brother Mouse.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Which is a great way if you want to volunteer in English education. Do that because it's more about practicing their conversational skills with different people. But when it comes to actually having a real English teaching program, you need to have staff.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
And that's why we had to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. Okay. Cool. So you did that, then you got stuck outside, and you moved to London.
To London, Hackney, Stoke Newington. I was Stoke Newington, N16.
So how was that? Like, how did you? It has to be a cultural shock.
Yeah. London.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, so I didn't have as much of a cultural shock in London as I thought I would. I mainly get cultural shocks when I go back to Canada, to be completely honest with you.
Interesting.
When I feel that minus 30-degree wind.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But no, London. I enjoyed London. I really did. I just wish I had more money and time to enjoy it. And that seems to be most people's complaints about London. Is it's a great city with so much going on, but it's quite expensive to do it. And I'm a little bit too old to be running around with the uni students in their like abandoned warehouses doing ketamine.
Is that still happening?
Oh yeah, it's London. Of course, that's still happening.
Got into that sphere of people, I guess.
And they'll be like, "You want to come through?" No, I'm a little bit too old for that. A little bit.
Yeah.
Not really, but I did love London. I love the people of London, especially East London.
What is it about it that you love?
I think for the same reason I love the Lao. They're so stubborn, like the working class Cockney English lad. They're so stubborn, and I really enjoyed working with them. And I didn't really work with. I mostly served them, to be honest, as a barman. But they were great people, and they treated me with a lot of respect, and they treated me really, really well, which I was surprised because you see all these videos about people being like, "Oh, Londoners will never accept you as a Londoner." Yeah, where are you living, man? They totally accepted me as a Londoner. They saw me working every day and going in every day and being like serving them their drinks and like, you got a home here any day. So I really appreciated that about London. I don't know the West very well.
Hmm.
I spent vast majority of my time in East London, and there everyone treated me really well. Majority of people treated me really well.
You always
Uh,
find a dick.
oh yeah, in London, it's about like a population. It's about percentage of a population.
Yeah.
You're more likely to see more mad people. But I was treated really well by the English, by the other immigrants, by everyone. They all treated me really well in London, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So why did you decide to leave?
I couldn't afford it. I was in a relationship that ended, and I couldn't afford to live in London anymore. Um, I mean, I could have if I wanted to live really further out,
Mm-hmm.
but my job was in Stoke Newington,
No.
which, if you know London well, unless you're coming from like Liverpool Street or like Oxford Circus,
Yeah.
it's not an easy place to
No,
get to.
it's that's annoying about Hackney. I would love to live there when I
Yeah.
was in London, but I was like, it's just impossible to get anywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
my job's always kind of had to center around the center of the city, or Oxford Circus, and then I just said, "Fuck it, I'm working in Hackney. Uh, I'm just gonna work in Hackney."
yeah.
Um, so I could have realistically gone somewhere like Lee, or like Southern Lewisham, but it would have taken me about 2.5 hours to get to
Ugh.
work, and I would have had to find a new job, and I would have had to and even places like Enfield are really expensive now. Like Walthamstow, Leighton,
Mm.
they're all really expensive now. So I couldn't afford to live it as a single person working
Yeah.
full time job. So I just had to look at the finances and go. I either leave London and go somewhere else in England, or I come to Laos. So I said, all right, I'll buy a ticket to Laos. We'll do the 90-day visa, and if I get a job or whatever, I'll stay, and if I don't, I'll move to Leeds or Birmingham or something. Um, and I landed a job here, so
It
no,
seems like a nice job
yeah,
with a cool project.
and a cool project. Yeah, if you guys come through La Cantina, I'm sure if you guys ever come to Laos, it'll be done by the time. But I'm building a cool little beer garden up Pussy Mountain, which is sounds funny, but it's a holy mountain here in Laos, and it's a really nice forest, and I'm building a beer garden there with permission, with permission, with permission.
Good. Good. You're here now for a couple of months. Are you glad that things happen as they happened, or do you feel a bit sad about London still?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel sad about London. I would have really liked it. In an ideal world, if I had 10 million quid, I'd have a summer house in London and a winter house in Laos, but that's not realistic. Um,
You don't need 10 million for that.
do in London.
Not house. You can have like a one bed, two bed on a somewhere.
You've obviously not looking at the prices.
I did because I was thinking about buying in spring, and I almost did.
Mm,
But then I was like, I don't want to have a mortgage for 37 years and be like
Fair
completely stuck, like
fair enough.
a massive, huge 37 years mortgage. And it wasn't like a small payment month, it was a massive payment still. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, do I want to live this?
No.
No, exactly. I don't
Mm,
want to live this. Like, it's
no.
not, I need the freedom of, like when some, I don't know, I want a freedom.
Yeah, and I guess like there's the expression freedom can be bought, and in different places in the world that price of entry changes.
Hmm.
And in London that price of entry, that price of freedom is really really high. because the price of freedom is time.
Mm.
And the amount of time that you have to put in for things in the UK is years. You know, even a phone, it's a payment plan, it's a time. You know,
Yeah.
I can't go to Laos until I pay off my house. You know, I can't go to Laos until I pay off my phone bill. You know, I can't go to, if I go to Laos, my phone bill will be nothing, but I'm still going to be paying 12 quid a month to EE every month.
Yeah.
So what am I, well, I might as well just wait till the phone plan runs out. Oh, but then, it's all like that in London. And here the time is a lot more, you get a lot more of the time for the effort you put in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no payment plans. You know, you pay by the month.
Mm-hmm.
You go up and you go like, all right, you know, you can do it in the UK as well, but that's just how they do it here. There's no payment plans. There's no mortgage. You just buy the house or you rent the house.
Yeah.
And the price monetary wise also, because for the time you put in here, you can get a bit more out of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I would be working 50 hours a week in the UK, and I would be able to afford one fish and chips a month for me and my ex. You know, and that was a special payday. We'd go down Sutton and Sons, and we'd pay our 58 fucking quid for a fish and chips.
58?
Don't get me started.
No way.
Yeah, fish and chips with some mushy peas and some
58 quid?
Yeah, if we want to drink with it, of course.
Oh, yeah,
if you want to drink with it, of course. If you want to have one drink.
Yeah.
One drink.
£8 nowadays? I don't even know. Fucking hell.
So, you know, whereas here I'm still doing the same hours, I guess, but I'm able to do a lot more, you know? Like if I wanted to right now, I could drive and see a beautiful waterfall.
True.
You know, or, you know, I could go and get myself an Indian and not look at my money afterwards and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just spent 48 quid on an Indian takeaway, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot more like that here, you know?
Mm. Yeah. Is the culture difference? Like you said, like the East Londoners are similar to Lao people in the sense they are like stubborn and
Yeah.
But it must be different, no? Like we are in a communist country.
Yeah.
How does it differ?
The differences between East Londoners and Lao?
Yeah.
That's a big question. There's lots of differences, you know? The similarities are that they generally are a community together. You know, in East London, usually, if you're in an apartment block with all the Cockneys, they all know each other. Hey, John. Hey, Mark. Hey, Carpet. Hey, hey, Cabby. You know, they've all got nicknames for each other, and they do the same thing here. I guess when it comes down to the difference between the Lao and I guess the working class English is the Lao have less patience for your bullshit.
Okay, interesting.
So if you're in London, right, and you get some new guy that lives on the street who's moved down from God knows where, countryside with a ton of money, and he's playing music all night, and you call the council, and the council leave a letter, and then the council leave another letter, and then the council and they don't do anything. Here in Laos, they have that same sort of like, the street, that Coronation Street. Everyone's got, knows each other. But here they've got a structure of chiefs where negative behavior is not permitted. And it's not even the government, really. It's the culture. Every village has what's called a Naiban, which is a chief. So, and each city is made up of a lot of different villages, and everyone has their neighban. And that neighban can do whatever. If he doesn't like you, he can be like, out, get out of my village. Which I am very much for, because sometimes you get these really annoying people or drug addicts that move into a village, and that neighban, vast majority of the time, has the power to go no. And then if they don't, follow the neighban, then they can contact the police and the government. But you should probably listen to the neighban, because if the neighban goes to the police, you probably
Is the neighbor like elected or?
uh the neighban is a member of the community who is a person of respect. Um, and then when there's like sub naybans, so they have advisors who are also respected members of the community. So if you're a respected member of the community, you get invited into the neighban's collection, and then if the neighban were to eventually pass, the next most respected person would take over as the neighban. But I think
Okay.
you wouldn't have the average person. It would be sort of like the Lao government. It's a one party. They invite you in, and then you get more respect this way.
Okay. Is it sort of like a community of elderly?
Yes,
Or something
yes.
like that?
When it comes down to it, it is what you would think of when it comes to a chief and his advisors. Um, and that's it. I find a really helpful way to get local things done. For example, if you break a rule here, it's pretty. They're not gonna all come out in full force. They're gonna send someone over and say, "Hey, man, you can't do it like this," or "Hey, man, you know, I hear you driving past all the night. Can you please change your muffler?" And then if it gets worse, then the neighbor gets involved, and then. But I find it a really um, good way to run local politics compared to the council system of the UK, because the council system of the UK is a it's just bureaucratic for a vast majority of the time. They can't really do anything other than you know basic maintenance of the thing. But many times you'll see, like, you go to the Hackney Council complaint forum, and there's tons and tons of pictures of, like dumping and like bikes left away and all this stuff, and they don't do nothing. They don't do anything. Whereas I know if I've got a problem with someone and I call up one of the advisors council in the village, it'll be done. It'll be sorted.
Okay.
So if I'm like, yeah, if I wouldn't, I don't, I have never, but hypothetically, if I had someone, dumping their trash on my property, I would go up and I would say, hey, you know, someone dumping trash on my property, and that would be passed along, and then within a week there would not be trash on my property anymore.
Okay. And is it done in a nice way?
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Of course.
Asking.
No, of course, because when it comes down to things, we in Lao, especially when it comes to diplomatic, like neighbor, like village people relations, they will always go with a friendly face first. Um, and it's just a gentle reminder: behave yourself.
Okay.
And if they need to use force, they can, but vast majority of the time, the gentle reminder is enough.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
But when it comes down to Lao Village, I really you know, I really enjoy it, and the I've met a couple of neighbors of some pretty big villages here, and they're all very respectable human beings. You're like, wow, you're a really great, solid individual.
Okay. So when I went from Chiang Mai to Luang Prabang, I took the slow boat,
Mhm.
and we stopped in one of those villages. I think it was Khmer village. So, like coming from Cambodia.
Mhm.
It was a tiny village, really.
Mhm.
But I felt like the kids were excited, like they were running around, but I felt like it was kind of, my friend gave it a name, human safari, because a bunch of Westerners landed on the bank of Mekong and went and watched like village, right? Which was fucking weird. And then
Yeah, but that is something that you will find in a lot of places. So, for example, when you go up Chiang Mai and they're like, "Come see the tribe with
yeah,
the neck braids," or even if you were to go to India and go to the city of death, and you're like, "Oh, look at the gurus," take the pit. A human safari is something that happens everywhere all the time, and I disagree with it. I don't like it. Um, I don't understand it. You can go through villages on your own, and it'd be fine. I've had many times where I've had to walk into a small village because I've run out of gas. But this is something that's a problem with tourism worldwide.
yeah, I agree. No.
But the problem is it's people want to see rare culture. And Khmer culture, Hmong culture, Lao culture, Lao Lum culture out in the countryside is something that they in the West have no idea. Just like if they were to go out and see, the random tribes in the Amazon, you always see them videos of them going out being like, look, I'm with the cannibals, I'm hanging out with the cannibals. You're like, bro, this is just a human problem. And I don't know how it can be fixed because it's a curiosity thing.
Yeah, yeah,
People will want to go and people will always want to go and see the things they've never seen before. And it's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. A couple of years we'll get a helicopter cruise over Sentinel Island.
yeah, probably. So you do speak Lao.
Yeah.
Have you spent any time in the villages with like locals and stuff?
Yeah. So with the Mekong Education Center, at the time called Bright Center, we opened a school up in a place called Ban Nam Tuam, which is about 2.5 hours north. It's not a small village. It's a Lao, like it's a collection, I would say, about 4 or 5 villages on the road 13, which is the main road through Laos. It's in Mun Nambak. There's no Falang out there though. You and you'd go out, you'd go out through the villages, for a walk, or you need to go and buy something. And but I've spent a decent amount of time in small villages in Laos. But I guess I usually have a purpose for being there. I wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm gonna go drive into this Hmong village and give out candies. I've seen people do that, and you're like, Jesus. But I've spent a lot of time in Lao villages. Yeah, I spent 3 months in Ban Nam Tuam in the beginning, and then I went back every 2 or 3 months. I'd spend about 3 or 4 weeks there. Um, yeah, I enjoy village life is even more slow than regular Lao life, which is already pretty slow. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the disconnect. There's a big disconnect you get from the rest of the world out there. And if you're looking for a bit of time to meditate, that's where you go out to the Lao countryside. That's where you go. If you're looking to get really drunk with some Lao people, that's also where you go.
Yeah,
Because out in the countryside, they drink. They can drink out there. God bless them.
and how the life looks like for them then when it's slow, like the day to day. They wake up, they have some, I don't know, chickens or something, fields maybe.
I guess you're kind of overthinking it with that question.
Am I? Maybe.
Life out in the countryside is the life of everyone else, just with different tasks. You know, they live the same life, they breathe the same air as everyone else. They've just got different tasks they do. You know, some of them go out to the rice fields, some of them are teachers, some of them are, open up their markets. It's the same thing that you would find anywhere in the world. Um, it's usually, they just get on with their daily tasks and then drink on Sundays.
I like that. Just different tasks. So one of the reasons I do this podcast is also to kind of show that people are same everywhere pretty much. It might be slightly different culture, but in the end we are all humans
Yeah.
and live very similarly. We have similar needs, same needs pretty much.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not them and us.
No.
It's all us.
I mean, it's not so it's a very fine line because we are all humans, but our culture shapes us.
Yes.
So, as I said, the tasks that they do every day it's like the same sort of, it's a life. It's a life. And some people are happy with it, and some it's like a countryside life if you live in a farm in anywhere. Some people are happy with it, and some people are like, nah, I want to go to the city. I want to make it work. Um, Obviously, the money situation. Laos is not a very rich country, but when it comes down to the culture of Lao people, and the cultures all around the world, it does make a fundamental change, and it does change you as well. Um, so I guess, as the Lao say, same but different.
Yeah.
Same but different.
Yeah.
We're the same humans, but we're different. Same but different.
How did it change you, the Lao culture?
It chilled me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when it comes down to Lao culture, it's just all about not worrying about the future too much, not worrying about the past too much. You can have plans and goals, but just do it every day and enjoy the time that you have. You know, because death comes quick here. People forget that when they come out to Southeast Asia, death comes quick. Um, so enjoy every day, and do every day, do something every day. Which helped, which helped a lot. You feel like a lazy bastard, and then you go out and you see that 70-year-old grandma pulling her thing, and you're like, okay, maybe I should actually do something today.
Hmm.
You know.
That is so cool. I guess it comes from Buddhism, doesn't it? Like that attention to now.
Yeah, it is a Buddhist principle. It's one of the Buddhist. It's one of the Buddhist teachings. Yeah. Uh, I don't know if it comes from Buddhism or for the Lao culture, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it comes from there. But yeah, they do have that in Buddhism. Obviously, they have life is suffering, so just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's some traditional Lao music.
Yeah, from the boat. I noticed they play it on the boats quite often. So it's funny, yesterday, was it yesterday? When we sat in La Cantina, I spoke with Idan about happiness, and you were like, what is happiness? So are you happy? And what is happiness?
uh, uh, oh, I'm not the right person to ask what is happiness. I just enjoy.
You enjoy.
I just enjoy. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. Just trying to enjoy. Happiness is an idea. I just try to enjoy, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not the best person about
It's fine.
happiness.
I don't think there is a best person to answer the question because the question or the answer is different for everyone, right?
Find yourself a stoic. He'll give you an answer. He'll give you an answer about happiness. But no, yeah, I just enjoy day, and I'm trying. When you're in Laos, when you see other people going through so much, you feel like not complaining as much.
Mm.
So you just kind of let it brush off you, you know. Whereas, in the UK, everyone's a bit miserable all the time, and they're always complaining.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, I better join in as well, and it negative attitude. So I guess happiness is not worrying about the bad when you focus on enjoying the rest of it.
Do you allow people complain less?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! Uh, unless they're your mates, then they complain all the fucking time.
So it's just human nature to complain.
Of course it is. They won't do it unless they're your mates, and then they'll be like, "This fucking oh my god, dude! I had this guy the other day." But no. Usually they do not complain nearly as much as a Westerner.
Okay, interesting. So do you want to stay here? Do you want to finish the project? Do the
Oh, I
do the
have
fun
no
stuff?
idea. I have no idea. I'm just doing now right now, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just focusing on short-term plans right now. I know everyone should have a long-term plan. Uh,
Maybe.
but right now I'm doing cantina, and we'll see what happens next. There's no ultimate plan. If I end up staying here in Laos for the rest of my life, I wouldn't complain. If I end up going somewhere else, I know I'll be back. I know I'll be back to Luang Prabang.
I mean, there's a lovely community here, and you have loads of friends by now. You know the language, which is big.
Yeah, very very helpful in Laos and very useless everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, but
And very useless. 5 years in London, I met one Lao person. One.
Wow. I mean, it's like, well, they don't have money, right?
Some of them do. There are Lao people around the world, especially in America.
Oh, okay.
In America, there's a lot of Lao people. In France, there's a lot of Lao people, and Hmong and Khmer. But there are a couple in the UK, but you wouldn't really know until you go and poke them. And are you speaking Lao on the phone right now?
Okay, interesting. So I do have a question I ask everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's if you can remember any act of kindness someone extended to you, and you still remember it. Doesn't have to be big; can be small. It's just kind of stick with you.
Act of kindness. I've had a lot of acts of kindness happen to me throughout my life. My ex was a very kind person, and she did a lot of very kind things for a lot of very kind, very good people. I guess I'll speak about my mate Mark because he passed away about a month ago.
Sorry.
No worries. And when I came to Laos as an English teacher, I came here and I was big ego, and he sat me down and he said to me, "Owen, man, this isn't about you." And I know maybe that isn't an act of kindness, but it is because I never would have gone as far in my time here in Laos if I hadn't been told that it's not about you. Because it takes someone who knows to tell you that. And he'd been here for 23, 24 years. So he knew Lao very well. And just doing that really changed my life trajectory. Just having that one conversation with me, telling me to chill out, you know.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, he was a great guy. R.I.P. Mark.
And I think it is definitely act of kindness to be honest with someone and really,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we do it enough.
No, and that's something that I appreciate here in Laos is they will not hold back when it's honest, and that's the expats and the locals, because you get the locals doing it, and the expats, they're all French, so they're very, this service is not very good today, So, but I enjoy the fact that people can be really honest with me and tell me, because that was another thing I didn't really like about London is, no, it's all whispers. No one, no, if there's a problem, come and speak to me. That's something that we do in Canada as well. Is if there's a problem, come up and speak to me about it. If you don't like something I've done, I don't need. Oh, I've come in and this wasn't done for 4 nights in a row. Well, why didn't you just tell me on the first night? Why don't you just tell me on the first night and then it would be done? Whereas here, people be like, "Oh, dude, why didn't you do that last night?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure. My bad. I'll do it. I'll do it for the next." So that type of honesty is something I really appreciate here.
Yeah, I completely get that. And it's definitely a UK thing, not doing it, and probably Canada as well. But
No, Canada, we do it in Canada,
yeah,
but the UK, yeah, it's
it's
really,
extreme.
yeah, they don't tell you nothing. They don't
Yeah.
tell you nothing until they sit you in a meeting room and they go, "Okay, so we got," and you're like, "God damn it! Why didn't you? This could have been a 5 minute conversation, like 3 days ago."
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was one of the issues I had big time in UK
Mm.
across the board. I don't know. Was your ex British or?
No, she was from Eastern Europe.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I personally struggled big time to date English people.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it because of this.
they wouldn't tell you stuff.
Yeah.
They'd let it all build up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never dated an English person, so I don't know.
Trust me, it's not fun.
I walked into London and I walked straight into the arms of an Eastern European woman. you know, but uh, but I'm sure it's something like that.
Well, thank you again for joining me today.
No worries at
It's
all.
very insightful.
Yeah, come through Laos. It's a great place to be.
It is. I do have to say, it's completely what's the word I'm looking for?
Exceeded.
Exceeded. Yes, thanks. My expectations, 100%. Like,
It's a lovely place. It's a lovely country to come and visit. The south is really lovely. The north is really lovely. I'd highly recommend anyone, come visit Laos. Come
yeah.
support tourism Laos.
Yeah, it's true. Come visit. I might come back. I've already kind of looked into. Well, I'll see. I might come back. I hope you're going to be still here.
I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be here until further notice. That's my plan.
Cool.
I'll be here until further notice.
All right.
Come visit me at La Cantina.
La Cantina. That place is really amazing. You have to go. Yeah, I'm gonna be sad to leave. Actually,
Yeah.
when you like travel and you meet all these new people all the time, and you kind of say the story again and again and again, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you just get tired of it. And
Yeah, that's why I stopped. I did a lot of travel, but I prefer living in a place. I was one of those people that when I traveled, I always imagined living there, and at one point I just went, "Why don't I just do it? How much is it going to cost me to live here?
yeah,
Let's just give it a go."
yeah, yeah. I guess for me, because I left London with zero idea where I want to live.
Hmm.
So I'm now kind of traveling around and seeing if there is a place which calls my name,
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not ready to stop yet. But I think I wouldn't mind to spend longer time here. And I love what you said before we started recording, actually, about like the people doing their thing here, like just starting
Oh yeah,
waffles and
yeah. The Waffle Man,
Waffleman.
J Juice. There's a lot of very interesting opportunities here. Well, one of the things about Laos is it's a developing country, and when you're in a developed country, quote unquote, there's very little you can do. Everything's already established.
Yeah.
Everything's already branded. Whereas here, you can just be like, "Oh yeah, I got some waffle irons. I'll make some waffles. Sell them on the street. Get a little notice from the government. Get a little stamp there. Give them some free waffles. They'll go, oh, those are delicious, and then sell them on the street or the jade or the juice. There's lots of opportunity here, to help Laos grow. Whereas something you have in the UK is it's stagnated. There's not much growth in a lot of places.
Yeah.
You know, there's growth in some places in the UK, but not all places.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
most of it's already established.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people try and become entrepreneurs in London who have failed. Stoke Newington Church Street is famously a very like indie street. A lot of privately owned businesses, and every 6 months they would close at least two, and then they'd come in. Someone else would try, and then they'd have to go, and then it was all the time. You know, I went to Laos for a month, and I came back in January, and 3 shops were closed. You know, it's everything's already established.
Yeah. But
And-
here, yeah, as you said, oh, I'm missing tomato juice, so I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. You know, I never noticed there wasn't tomato juice. You know, I didn't even think, Belgian waffles. But as soon as they were done, I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's super sweet, which a lot of Lao people really like sweet stuff.
Yeah.
And foreigners love sweet stuff. And imagine you're sat in the morning for a coffee and all you can smell is the guy making Belgian waffles down the street. You're going to want Belgian waffle.
Yeah.
But that's stuff that you can like do here. You can find little niches that you didn't really think about, and you can just do them. There's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. I love that. That's really cool. I need to think about that. Yeah. All right.
Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.